Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, know the situation has become uncontrollable for Ukraine and its allies. At the moment we are in the process of speak, all of Ukraine is immersed in black. I mean, all of Ukraine, east to west, north to south to center, all of Ukraine is immersed in the dark. If there are days like this, it is the Ukrainian capital Kiev, which was plunged into darkness by the strikes Russians on October 15, 2025. Russia struck with several drones and several missiles. Just this evening, Russia aimed almost all power plants' energy. Russia struck at the same time moment, and all of Ukraine, the light has died out. Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, we will no longer say that the situation in Ukraine is serious because it has exceeded the threshold of the gravity. We're not going to say that it's getting hot anymore, Ukraine, but we will start by saying it's over since we are towards the end. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is talking about Gaza thing. Ukraine is in the process of sink permanently. Ladies and gentlemen, within the framework of this geopolitical conference dedicated to international news, is this news that we are going to talk about. Please share the conference at maximum in all groups. Put lots of likes, and always remember to leave your different opinions in the comments. Let's go deep. Subscribe if this is your first times to come across my conference. Please subscribe. So it's an energy offensive planned and massive. According to official information, the strikes took place in this night. These are night strikes. On the night of October 14th to 15, 2025, Russian forces launched more than 220 drones, Shahed, plus the 220 drones Chad, and 60 cruise missiles. So I correct you. It happened in yesterday night, but it's that night that confirmation was given by the responsible for structures energy. Yes, the Ukrainian minister himself, Energy Network, that gave the information this evening since all the day. They thought he could solve, but impossible. Night falls. All of Ukraine is in the dark. So imagine 220 drones, Shahed. This time, it's not the GAN-2 drones, the modified version of Shahed, no, but it is the Shaheds who 220 arrived. We will say that the number is not perhaps high compared to the record of records that Russia has always had to do. 720 drones, 500 drones, 600 drones. But these are precision strikes which only targeted the infrastructure energetic, and it was strikes surgical. But where the number is high, these are the missiles of cruise. 60 cruise missiles. The 60 cruise missiles targeted power plants, substations distribution, high voltage lines in several regions of Ukraine, including Kiev, Dnipro, Odessa, Poltava, Kharkiv, all major regions inside Ukraine. In several cities, we have done that see black smoke. When the lines, high voltages are struck directly, it's over. It's smoke, and then it creates a breakdown widespread, fires a little everywhere. I told you that he has almost 3 of this weeks now. This is the news, at least since the beginning of the month from October. This is the new strategy Russian. They want to destroy everything on the energy plan. It's to push Ukrainian citizens to revolt against the regime in place. And in this respect, Russia is to succeed in its cost. Russia is really succeeding in its cost. Let's go deep. This is the general blackout. The Ukrainian Minister of Energy has confirmed that nearly 80% of the electricity network national is out of service. Nearly 80% of the electricity network national and out of service. 80% is that it's over. They have paralyzed the whole of Ukraine. Only 20% of the territory is get by with a little electricity. The worst part is that even the centers, administrative offices no longer have power. Administrative buildings, ministries and others no longer have of electricity. That's the worst part. That's really the worst. So It must be said that according to always this minister, this caused a total blackout in 22 regions, 22 Russian regions, 22 regions, Ukrainians. I was going to say a breakdown total. And the trains, the subways, the hospitals work only thanks to the emergency generator. They have generators of help. That's it. You know, these are developed countries. Normally the current never goes out. Hospitals, but still have generators of emergency in case the current breaks. So tempting. There you go. So currently hospitals, subways and others are operating on the basis of emergency generators. And so those who were targeted are critical facilities such as the Dnipro thermal power plant and network converter stations Bikiev Kirok Chest were also affected. So several strategic sites have been reached. According to Ukrainergo, so the company that takes care of the energy issues in Ukraine, according to Ukrainergo, Russia targeted the ends of regulation of the social network. Everything that is born from regulation of the electric social network, that's what Russia aimed and Russia struck on that. And the result is there. Ukraine is in the dark. It is because it is night that we say that Ukraine is in the dark. But the day too, there is no electricity. Citizens will pass by all the time. Their phone is dead. So no communication. The administration also works how? Maybe they will use it generators, groups generators, certainly. But Ukraine stops its total paralysis. The citizens cannot move because there is no electricity. It is the current that powers the subways. So it can't move. How do they do it? So how do they do it? It's a kind of quarantine Ukrainian populations by the Russia. So it must be said that this blackout paralyzed the synchronization with the European system below them. So Ukraine is disconnected from the European electricity system following this strike, and in the capital Kiev is plunged into darkness absolute, including districts, governmental and metro stations. The warning sirens sounded all at night, huh? Videos show columns of smoke, as they said just now. So the authorities are overwhelmed. President Zelensky has convened the emergency meeting of the National Security Council while accusing Moscow of terrorism, systematic energy. And so, ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, that was the front page of international news. Thank you for the share as much as possible. It was the voice of your humble servant, the Samurai.